So, what if that brilliant AI assistant you hired to do your legal research was, well, lying to you? A brand new study straight out of Stanford suggests that's pretty much exactly what's happening. Today, we're breaking down the marketing hype versus the cold, hard reality. And hey, if you're into AI and tech that actually works, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button for @BrandTechAuth right below. I mean, the dream is pretty simple, right? To have an AI that can just absorb mountains of information, instantly handling all that tedious, boring research, saving us countless hours so we can focus on the stuff that actually matters. And you know what? This isn't science fiction anymore. We're actually here. You've got tools like Google's NotebookLM that promise to do exactly that. They can analyze hundreds of pages in seconds, automatically whip up summaries, find key insights, and even turn a dense 50-page report into an audio summary you can listen to on your commute, just like a podcast. All right, so let's dig into that promise, because the technology being marketed to professionals, especially in high-stakes fields like law, it sounds absolutely incredible. Take features like deep research. The whole idea is to automate the entire process. So you ask a complex question, and the AI doesn't just do a simple search, it actually formulates a plan, scours hundreds of sources, and then delivers a structured report complete with citations. It's pitched as your own personal research assistant, working at lightning speed. And it's not just about reading text on a screen. I mean, imagine turning a super dense legal brief into a podcast you can just listen to on your way to work. That's the whole idea behind audio overviews, where the AI actually discusses the key points for you. The goal is to make all this complex information digestible, even when you're on the go. But, and this is a huge but, with all this amazing power comes a massive risk, a kind of ghost in the machine that has plagued AI models from the very beginning. And the biggest companies in this space, they're now claiming they've solved it for good. And that problem is hallucination. It's basically when an AI confidently states something that is just completely, totally wrong. We've all seen the crazy headlines, right? Like that New York lawyer who got in huge trouble with a judge for citing completely fake AI-invented legal cases in a court filing. It's a massive, massive liability. So to fight this, these companies have rolled out a technology called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. And this is being sold as the silver bullet, the key to making AI finally trustworthy enough for the big leagues. Now, the idea behind REG is actually pretty simple and kind of brilliant. Instead of just letting the AI, meek things up from all the stuff it learned on the internet, it follows this strict two-step process. First, it retrieves information, but only from a verified, trusted source, like a law firm's own case files. Then, it generates its answer using only that info it just found. It's grounded in fact, or at least it's supposed to be. And the marketing claims? Oh man, they have been bold. An executive from Thomson Reuters, they own the legal research giant Westlaw, claimed earlier this year that RAG, quote, dramatically reduces hallucinations to nearly zero. Think about that, nearly zero. Okay, so nearly zero sounds fantastic, right? But is it actually true? Well, a team of researchers from Stanford Law and the Stanford AI Lab decided to put that claim, and others just like it, to the ultimate test. And what they did was publish this absolutely groundbreaking study. The title alone tells you everything you need to know. Hallucination-free? With a big fat question mark at the end. And this is what makes their work so important. See, before this, all we had were marketing slogans from companies with these closed-off secret systems. This study, it represents the first real, independent check on those claims. It's the first actual empirical data we have on this. So what did they find? Well, even the best-performing legal AI tool, it hallucinated 17% of the time. And folks, that's the low end. And on the high end, a leading tool made stuff up in 1/3 of its responses. Let that sink in. 1 out of every 3 answers it gave was factually incorrect. This chart really just illustrates the massive gap between the hype and the reality. I mean, yes, RAG makes a big difference. You can see these legal tools are way better than a general model like GPT-4. But a hallucination rate of 17 to 33%, that is nowhere close to nearly zero. So the really important question is, what do these errors actually look like in the real world? Are we talking about minor typos or something more serious? Well, let's look at some of the examples the Stanford team uncovered. Okay, so for instance, the researchers asked Westlaw's AI about bankruptcy law. It came back and confidently claimed that a certain paragraph in the federal rules says that specific deadlines are jurisdictional. Now, that's a super critical legal term that basically means a deadline is absolute. You miss it, your case could be toast. Here's the problem. That paragraph, it doesn't exist. The AI just made it up. And even worse, the legal point it made based on this imaginary text is flat out wrong, according to the Supreme Court. I mean, that is a potentially case-losing kind of error. All right, here's another one. The team asked a different tool, Lexis Plus AI, about the current legal standard for abortion regulations. The AI came back citing the famous undue burden standard from the Supreme Court case Planned Parenthood v. Casey. But as anyone who follows the news probably knows, Casey was completely overruled by the Supreme Court back in 2022. The legal standard it was talking about is no longer the law of the land. So the AI was working with critically outdated information, which in the legal world makes the entire answer completely and totally false. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that while these AI tools are, without a doubt, a huge leap forward, the marketing has just raced way, way ahead of what the technology can actually do today. This summary table from the study really paints a clear picture. You can see Lexis Plus AI was the most accurate, getting it right about 65% of the time, but it still hallucinated in 17% of its answers. Westlaw AI, it was accurate less than half the time and was just plain wrong a full third of the time. I mean, these are some serious trade-offs. So what this incredible Stanford study really exposes is that while AI can be a brilliant, time-saving assistant, it is definitely not a perfect, all-knowing oracle. That dream of a fully automated, 100% trustworthy researcher, it just isn't here yet. The human in the loop isn't just a good idea, it's an absolute necessity. Which leaves us with the big question. Can you really afford to trust an assistant that gets it wrong up to a third of the time? Something I think about. Thanks for watching.